Yo, it's me, Panic, and hello to the stream, I would say. So, Drachwax, welcome to the stream. Hope you had some nice 2 weeks. I think the last time we streamed was 2 weeks ago. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, welcome. I'm gonna switch over to the chatting page. Oh yeah, that's what I want. Train. Not really. Too many tests. My last exam also in maths also didn't went well. I'm not that hyped. And I still have 1 or 2 tomorrow. Okay. Well, it happens. Happens. Why are you here then? Why are you here? So, I'm gonna do some music stuff. So I downloaded some weird shit. Problem is I have to change up some stuff in the preferences. Virtual DJ, hold on a second. So I have performance options, text, automatic sampler, interface, no, like, it's remote now. I don't think it's under audio. Maybe just simply under options. Local. I need to add different local folder. Because I'm annoyed by work and I need some relaxation. Okay. I'm not sure if this is the right stream then, but anyway, welcome. So, I'm still trying to figure out how to change some stuff here. Like, I want to add something to the local music here. I don't want to add a virtual folder. Database. Properties. I want to add a new path to it. Hide. Wait, maybe I just simply have to drag and drop it in. Let me try that out. It would make sense. Music. Boop. Maybe if I drop it like that in. No. I don't get it. I want to add a new... Gosh. Man, I'm playing it at the same time, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me... Virtual DJ. Add... Local... Sound... Files. Adding music. I want to add local DB, no. Add music files. Add to search DB. Okay. With the okay. Need to add your songs to virtual for them to appear when searching. To do this, use the virtual DJ browser to browse to the drives and folders where the music is located. Right click on the folder and choose Add to Search DB. I wish I could browse them though. I mean, that by itself would already be great. I have no clue how I'm supposed to do that. Like, I cannot switch into... Oh no, wait, there it is. This PC... Work... Music. Can I... Wait, and then we got stream beats. And then I can like add, we have here a couple of lo-fi tracks. Theoretically, for example. So there are, and there is like also some synthwave that we could use. I'm gonna try that out. Let me drag in some synthwave like that. Troop. 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 And last but not least, troop. And I'm gonna shuffle that shit now. Shuffle once. Beep. Okay. So there are a couple of ideas I have I would want to add to FicsIt-Cam. So like one would be some more keyframe shit, I call it keyframe view. So you can move around keyframes, for example, or keyframe selection in the graph view. That would be cool. And what also would be cool is to have a replay functionality. The problem is, replay functionality is actually rather hard to achieve because satisfactory breaks very often as I try to do a replay. Or, well, no, just like recording a replay breaks if there was a chat message happening. If there was a chat message and you're doing the replay, it crashes. And you record a replay, it crashes. If then, if the replays finish successfully, so you was able to fully record one, you can replay it. It works fine. But what then is not fine is replaying it. So what is not fine then is like when you then scrub it. Scrubbing then doesn't work, which is like a very bad thing considering how FicsIt-Cam works. There are ways around, I would say, but it's still not great. So for now we're gonna have to wait a bit till everything is loaded. And I'm doing some stuff on Virtual DJ right now. Okay, good. Managed some sounds there. Some songs. Well, technically then also sounds. So, okay, so... I'm not sure if I want to do something with the replay system right now. It would be really, really cool, but the replay system is very annoying, to say the least. There is one thing that that I'm interested in, though, and that is how the frick are the subsystems actually initialized. So, like, we have here a FIC subsystem, which is a mod subsystem, and a mod subsystem is an AFG subsystem, and the AFG subsystem registers itself in some kind of satisfactory stuff, and that runs it. Because, like, I experience most crashes when scrubbing, because stuff didn't load properly. Some stuff just simply, like, a reset happens, and while that reset happens, it, for whatever reason, gets rid of data that was at the normal start there, but after a scrub, not anymore, like some subsystems. So, like, the idea would be that for whatever reason, the actual process that runs the subsystems doesn't get started when scrubbing. Also, something is draining a lot of stuff right now. Why is Chrome taking so much performance right now? So much network bandwidth. I don't get it. Seriously, there's a Chrome thing that drained a lot of network bandwidth. Also Steam. What the fuck are you doing? It seems to have resolved it. Okay, whatever. So, okay, so now Steam is steaming. Okay, pioneering. Welcome to the stream. I'm never gonna give you up. Okay, sure, if you say so, I guess. Why not? Okay, so what my idea would be right now is we're gonna yeah, actually we have a constructor. So how about, so we're gonna add a breakpoint there. We're gonna run the game, and then we see what initializes that, and maybe we can trigger it ourselves, the initializing process. Because it could actually be the player controller. Because if you start something in if you start something in the replay mode, you don't have player controller. We may be able to change that, but right now you're loading into the game mode spectator pawn essentially. I'm not sure about the player controller, but I think the player controller also doesn't change. Up isn't a movie for the faint of heart. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna give you Up. Sounds more to me like Rickroll, so I'm kind of confused. By the way, I got a warm cup of tea, a little bit of Schwezi, and some sparkling water, just as usual. So we have already something that does the job. Okay, no, that's just the default object. What is this? Also default object. More default objects, okay. 3 default objects, why not? Why do anyways, OBS. Hold on a second. Gonna have to change some settings there. Boop. 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 Not windowed full screen, just windowed, please. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Why do British people say British? Because they drank the tea. Possible. Percy, welcome to the stream, moin. Moin to you too. Okay, so let me show you guys. So if we go into a world, in this world I should have made the recording. So okay, now something something gets properly spawned. By what though? By save session. We have the AFG game mode, and that runs the init game state function. Pre-initialize components in the game mode base. So the init game state loads the game with a given string. I mean, that makes sense. Can we check out this here? But like AFG game mode. Let's check out the header file. So there we go. And there is like init game state function here. Sadly enough, I cannot do. I cannot do that. I doubt I can do that. No, cannot. Okay. Would be cool, but no. But I mean, is there not a different system that does this here? Honestly, it's a bit weird that it's just this guy. The fuck? What is happening? Leave me alone. So, okay. So let me show you. If I do a demo play test 2, actually could do that from the main menu out. So if I do this here, you can see down there stuff is happening. So this is a recording, and we are right now in the in a spectator pawn. So the problem arises if we now say demo scrub 1. Okay. So if we oh, let's actually do 0. So if we do that, you can see it works for now. Or it doesn't. Okay, well, it doesn't. So why does it not work? Because we try to get the color slot data of something. As you can see here, we try to get the color slot data. The problem is just that this pointer of the AFG buildable subsystem is null. So that means the AFG buildable subsystem was not able to be retrieved with inside of the on-rep building color slot data. So this is apparently, as you can see, on rep, so it's like on the client side at the replication. So this whole thing works that when you record, a player essentially joins the game and records everything that is happening. So it records everything that is happening, and then after that, when you then stop it, it's then stored, and when you play it, this recorded data is then being reused, essentially. So that means we only have the data that is available to a client, but we try to reproduce everything that a server, a host would do. I mean, we have all the data a host would do, but something does not go well here for whatever reason. So we have to figure out why that's the case. You say the same thing when you say T. T, T, and T. Yes, that's true. Are you thinking I'm British, or why are so many British jokes here? Okay. So well, demo net drive. So it gets a package and it tries to do that, but the subsystems do not exist. Oh, remember you said that from Germany? Yes, I'm from Germany. So I was just wondering why so many British people jokes. So what now? Okay, I still have an idea on how we can figure out what actually runs that, because right now it seems like the subsystem is simply loaded from the save file, which makes sense. I mean, it's an AFG. The AFG subsystem is, after all, save game, save interface, so it does indeed get stored, and that's probably why it indeed exists. But there are subsystems out there that are not getting stored in a save file, probably like this buildable subsystem. So we have to figure out why buildable subsystem doesn't get loaded. So, like, there are a couple of differences you can definitely see why things are how the different things are. And yeah, so the question is now, what can we do to replicate the same stuff a host would do? So one idea, so that means we should also like figure out what actually is different from when you run it in a play, like in when you replay a recording, and what is different from when you are playing normally. It really reminds me of the tea jokes. I'm gonna go make some tea for myself. See ya, I guess. So let me try out with a new world. So there is nothing saved, okay? So that means every subsystem has to be spawned by the same thing, essentially. I actually don't care, but definitely skip the onboarding process. So let's start the game. There we go. So what is spawning you? So there is a use subsystem actor manager. Oh wait, that's the utility of satisfactory mod loader. Okay, so the satisfactory mod loader is actually spawning those guys. What is spawning the others then? Like, what spawns the... And this is all part of... Okay, so we go... I mean, it would be cool if we could, like... better add, like, debug points to shit. So, what we care about is the FG buildable subsystem. Buildable subsystem. So that's the troublemaker, essentially. It does quite some stuff. Wait! It indeed does get stored. Why are you then not able to get the color slot data? I mean, do you have a getter? Okay, that's too... Okay, get the buildable subsystem in the current world. Can we multiply it? E.g. game ending, destroy, or game startup. It's not the startup order, because I got it once to work. I did replays. So like I scrub, it then begins to replay till a point where I build something, where I build a power pole, and it then tries to access the subsystem, and it still fails. So it's not because some loading order mismatch. It's something else. The question is just what. I mean, we have here no getters. The problem is we cannot really look into how they work. I would have to open up Ghidra, I guess. Let's do that. Let's check out Ghidra. Maybe I can figure out something. Hello? Ah, there it is. So we are searching for AFG buildable subsystem. There we go. No dynamic initializers. Constructor, nope. Internal constructor, nope. Not the static class function. I wish it could use the PDB files. That would be really, really handsome, but nope. They're just the executor functions. There we have the two getters. Get. So this here gets the U object. And this directly gets the U world. Okay, so what are you doing? You're doing quite a lot of stuff. I mean, probably because we have a lot of inline shit here. That's at least... So we are iterating. Oh, so we have an object array. Check. Okay, so wait, that's just checking the pointer of the buildable subsystem. No, wait. This is subsystem. PCVAR2. And PCVAR2 is set to SWI3. Okay, so if this value here is unequal 0, so it's not the null pointer, we get the IWAR1, which is the first param, and we try to get a field of it. This field here. I have no clue what this field is or what it does. Nope, it doesn't really help us. Oh wait, no, maybe. The problem is like finding what the field number here means with over here is really difficult. I have no clue. So what is... Wait, that is C, right? So it should be... C is what? 12. Maybe it's offset 12 then? No, it's undefined. Could have been. Could have been. What are you trying to do here? What does... It does some very weird shit. Look at that. PC var is... What is SWI? What is SWI 3? Okay, what is this code here doing? It's like copy paste. This looks like freaking copy paste. Whatever is PC var 2 is the result of SWI 3. Whatever that is. What is SWI? What does that mean? I'm back. I made some tea with lemon and vanilla. It also has some vanilla spring through there from the tea bag. Wait, tea bag, lol. You and your freaking teas. So what does SWI and C mean? I wish I would know. Kidra SWI. What does this SWI mean? I mean, here it would return this stuff, and here we would do weird things. Oh, I think that looks more promising. So we have this here, and then we got param1. Does some weird stuff, and this here pu var 8 is get private static class of world settings. So it's like static class essentially. So it gets the U class from the world settings, stores it in uvar 8, which is used over here. I highly suspect it then tries to get that value. It runs some kind of function on this ivar7 object with the private static class, and it then gets some pointer, which it then just simply check if it's unequal 0, and then it then returns a pointer to a field of ivar7. The question is, what is this ivar7, and what is this field of it? I mean, this field of it seems to be a buildable subsystem. So that means this, in this function here, it somehow gets something, some pointer that returns that function some object, and this object then contains a pointer to a AFG buildable subsystem. So hold on a second. Well, let's check where AFG buildable subsystem is all used. So I'm gonna make a quick search, because maybe there is like a class of satisfactory class of satisfactory that uses the buildable subsystem. There, FG subsystem classes. And then we have a factory tick. Okay, I mean the factory tick is rather obvious that needs that. But what about this guy here? It contains the buildable subsystem class. It has... There you go. There you go. You have here some settings. But I mean, it's just the sub. I mean, it's still FG settings, you know. So you have FG settings here. You have then FG subsystem classes. You can, and then you can just get that. So those are the AFG. So maybe it does this here. But what does this IFR 7 do? I mean, it's not a buildable subsystem. What does this dot do? Address not found. Param 1 is the world. So this looks like we are running some kind of function on the world object. And this returns us a pointer. But it doesn't seem that this function has any parameters except 0 and 1. Which is fishy. And we're then running a different function on the IVA 7, which we got from the world. It's from a function that is run by from the world. We run there a function, and then we get IVA 4. And then we return AFG buildable subsystem. This is the result of IVA 7. Plus some stuff. Wait. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue the search. Who else? Is there something else that could rely on it with like FicsIt networks? So like we have the buildable subsystem. We have like the buildables. We have the buildable subsystem, the subsystem classes, and the factory tag. So we don't have any header files where anywhere else the subsystem classes are being used. I want to try something. And now we have a BP game mode. I'm not sure if that will work. So an idea I would have is probably very stupid. So let me go into this module here, because here I have some hooks going on. So in our post engine hook, let me do something weird. I want to say, give me the AFG game mode. Static, like, I want to get the get default of the AFG game mode, okay? So give me the default of the AFG game mode. Gonna have to import it, include it, obviously, to make that work. And now we can access some things. And there is, for example, spectator class. And I want to fuck, it needs to be a subclass of spectator pawn. Why? Why does that have to be? I mean, we have here this init game, spawn default that transform init game state, allow cheats, choose player start, implement restart player, login is paused, post logout, find an active player, generic play initialization. Does it have any delegates or whatever? Fuck. On created, on construct, on tick, don't think so. What delegates? What delegates do we have else? We have quite a few. On like world. Map. Level. Add static. So this is not it. What could we do, guys? I have to figure out how to get those subsystems loaded. I want to make sure that like the game mode is used. Okay, maybe void fx void fg game mode play game mode underscore play. Then we need a call scope of void fg game mode scope fg game mode gm. Duh. Yeah, and that's about it. I just want to add a breakpoint there. And then I'm gonna say subscribe method fg game mode begin play. Then like fg game mode play. So what is the issue? Problem cannot access it. Yeah, it's fucking protected. Dispatch begin play. Maybe let's go with that. What is the... and it needs a boolean. Bool. Bool. Beep. Just bool. What's the issue? Cannot convert or value call scope game mode bool. Game mode 2 parameter void actor bool. Oh, a actor. Oh, come on. A actor. Is that better? Apparently it is. I don't really care. Oh, hold. Oh, shit. Stop it. Stop it. This is a virtual function. No, it's not. Is it a virtual function? Because if it is, we're gonna have to hook it differently. No, it's not. Okay. It's not virtual. So then we can run it normally. Just as we want. I'm gonna figure out a little bit more, and then at some point I guess we're gonna switch over to try to work on maybe the keyframe view or whatever. Anonymous Warrior DK, welcome to the stream. So, let's just hope the best, I guess. Let's just hope the best, I guess. Yes, let's just hope the best, I guess. Yeah, I pretty much do not care right now. Boop. So, what's important is that if we're gonna if we run the replay, that the breakpoint gets triggered. If not, not good. But it indeed does, which is good. So let's check out the actor for a second there. I'm a bit confused right now, because like I thought it can detect that, but apparently it doesn't. Maybe because RTTI is deactivated? I don't know. Let's evaluate the expression. So I want to convert that to an AFG game mode pointer. Thanks for nothing, stupid. How should I do that then? This is not good. I cannot evaluate it. For fuck's sake. I mean, there are... important stuff is not here. Can we check on G World? Yeah, I want to check on G World. Hold on. G World. Oh, it's a global thing. G World. It's a freaking global function. Global UWorld pointer. This pointer should be avoided whenever possible. Yeah, I know, but I want to do that right now, but... Use a funding to identify a G-word. It's stupid. So... what shall we do else then, guys? How do we get this working in this? I want to know what does get spawned and what does not get spawned. So with that, I have paused the demo. I can unpause it again. I still cannot move around there for whatever reason. That's not good. Whatever. So we're gonna pause the game. So I want to check. So there is like G. Do we have a GM or whatever? Mode? Wait, what does module list do? GM. I know you cannot read it, I know. What does this do? G. Grass. Wait. Grace density scale? Grass density scale? What does... But it didn't change anything. The grass is still the same. Dane. So the question is, how do we get these freaking values out? Like, how do we know what game mode is used, what player controller stuff? I would want to debug stuff like that, but I cannot. I'm not allowed to. Which project are you working on? I'm working on FicsIt-Cam, which is a camera mod for Satisfactory. It's already released, I'm just trying to add new features. And right now we are investigating why the Unreal Engine's native replay system doesn't work inside of Satisfactory. And we try to investigate that. Do we have G-Engine? Like, I wish this here would work, but it doesn't. It's so freaking annoying. Diddle-a-dip. Wait, our subsystem should take a ride. I think you should continue the LLVM series. There's no content on internet about LLVM. Yeah, the problem is I'm not not motivated enough. I want to do other stuff. And that is right now working on FicsIt-Cam. And figuring out why the replay system doesn't work. I mean, it seems like some subsystems aren't loaded. And I have no clue why, like none at all. It's so weird that they are not loaded. I highly suspect something. That it's because we use a different pawn. We use a spectator pawn instead of like a normal pawn. Yeah, and there is no pawn essentially set. No special spectator pawn. And I'm not sure if there is a AFG spectator. Character. There's just like character base, but like there's no spectator, which would be necessary. Spectator. And otherwise they would have probably already used it. But instead it. But it doesn't seem like it. I mean, also a different problem could be that this here doesn't get loaded for whatever reason. I'm not sure what this get does. I have to hook something that is essentially already loaded. Why is my cursor not here anymore? What happened? Oh, come on. Hello? Rider. Boop. Okay, whatever. What could we hook otherwise? Oh wait, we have an init game world function here. Maybe we can do some stuff there. Ah fuck, but we don't have a function. We just initialize it, but we do not have a function that gets triggered when it actually loads. This is so annoying. Init game world. I guess we're gonna have to do that then. Maybe that could do it. Doop 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 doop. Boop, boop. Generate definition in here. Yes. Then we're gonna check the face. Life cycle face. Post initialization. So, okay, what can you do here? Things. I could try to get the game mode, the world. So like you can get the world. You could say like get game. Yeah, let's try to get the game instance. Why not? So this is you game instance. Game instance. So what about? So then we UFG game instance. So it's the FG game instance, which should be obviously because it's from the game instance. Game instance. There we can see. Maybe that's the reason why it doesn't work. By the way, we should also deactivate the optimizer. Pragma optimize off. Turning the optimizer off and turning it back on again. So now we got pretty much the game instance. I mean, the player controller is a spectator pawn, so we're gonna really check that. No, wait, actually, the player controller can still be that, but it's... Yeah, let's do that. Let's get you a player controller. Player controller. Cast you a player controller. We don't need that, actually. Just say get world. And we say like get first player controller. Or wait, get first. Oh no, get first player controller. And then we're gonna cast it again. So you have AFG player controller. FG player controller equals cast AFG player controller. Player controller. Player controller. And what else should we check? I mean, the pawn is a spectator pawn. What would also be of interest? I mean, game state maybe? View game state? Okay, wait, is it a game state? Oh, it's a game state, okay. Well, game state. Get world. Get game state. And AFG game state. Wait, what? What's the issue? A game state base. Oh, okay. A game state base. And we say FG game state. State equals cast AFG game state. Game state. What else do we want to check, guys? Nothing. UI log. Text. P. I'm just like printing all of these pointers. Oh, and wait, hold on. This here is log temp. Log temp. And warning. So then we got PPP, then we say game instance, FG game instance, player controller, FG player controller, game state, FG game state. So we got like 6 dudes. 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the matter here? Oh, included. So okay, gonna run the debugger right now, and I will be right back, guys. As long as it builds, I'm not gonna run. Yeah, okay, run the debugger. So we'll be right back. Give me a second. Meow. Now. There we go. Boop. So not record, play. Ah, frick. Totally messed up there. Doop, doop, doop. Let's have a look. Player controller is null. So we do not have an AFG player controller. Probably spectator controller or whatever. And we do not have any game state. Okay. I'm not sure how worried I should be about that. But okay, so we do not have a player controller. The player is FG local player. And the controller is... well, it's the parent. And the player... do we have like class name or whatever? No, it's just player controller. Huh. Okay, that's sus. Can we change that of a game mode? It's like controller. Wait, what? Game mode. Player. Like I need the. Don't care about these values. No spectators, no players. Oh wait, maybe game mode base. Boop. With game session class, game state class. Oh, okay. So maybe we can check. We can also try to check game session. So there's player controller, player state, HUD, default pawn, and spectator class. The pawn class used by player controller for players when spectating. Replay. Oh, the player controller class used when spectating on network replay. Huh. So we are genuinely using a different controller here. Maybe this is how we can figure that out. So okay, so I'm gonna check out the game session and I'm gonna try to update this value here, the replay spectator. And this here is whatever, I don't know, server stat replicator class, I don't know. But we're gonna try to do this here. We're gonna try to change that value however we want. So to do that, UFG, we say default UFG game mode, get default, AFG game mode. So, and then we gonna set this guy. Wait, hold on. That's AFG game mode GM. Cause point out please. Because then we can say GM. Boop. Beep. Boop. Default player control class. There you go. Okay, and this here is const. No, it's not. I am not const AFG game mode. That's a lie that it is const. That's just a lie. Cannot attach of with const AFG game mode. Yeah, I do not want to do that. Oh wait. Oh, I need a const cast, not a static cast. I need a const cast. There we go. That's what I wanted to have. Okay. And then game session it was, right? So let's add that. A game session. Game session. Get world. Get game session. Okay, that's actually probably something for the game instance maybe? Session? No. Get world. Get session. Game mode. Okay, I guess maybe it's inside of the game state, but we cannot access the game state in this function here. There we go. Agree and proceed. Boop, boop. Demo playtest 2. Let's see. I mean, this hasn't really changed. So. Let's see how that will go. I cannot move around right now. I'm just saying, you know. But I mean, we had the issue previously too. So let me try to scrub now. So you can see it plays, but then it crashes because it then tries to place a thing. And the buildable subsystem doesn't exist. Or it's not reachable, I don't know. Something doesn't seem to work, and I have no clue what. It annoys me. Okay. Guys, anyway, let's continue and try to work on something else for FicsIt-Cam then. So there are a couple of things I would want to do. Dachwax, are you still here, or someone else? Like, we have to decide between some things. So we could now work on graph view, make keyframes selectable. with like a selection box and stuff. So that you can drag a group of keyframes around, for example. Alternatively, we also could work on a keyframe view, which is like you have just rows, and in each row you have the different keyframes. This is useful because you then have like you can just you only have the keyframe, you only have the keyframes, and you can drag them then around and not cause any further issues essentially. And you have like one compact space with all keyframes. Essentially, you can drag them around. We also would need a selection system there, but for now, just getting the rows in and make the keyframes dragging around is already quite something. And the third thing would be that we're gonna try to make the camera animations being played even slower as time-lapse cameras, so that you can play that you can record a time-lapse essentially while this animation is running essentially. Because right now FicsIt-Cam only has stationary time-lapse cameras, and with that you can make a time-lapse when the animation follows you essentially. Or it doesn't even have to be a time-lapse, it could be a full recording, but like it would be slow as fuck. So there is that. So those are the three alternatives, the three things we could work on. Oh, and also we could display keyframes. So that's also something we could, and that is we could display keyframes in the timeline scrubber. And we also could add a feature that you can add markers. But like, that's like very low priority stuff. What would you think would be best? And considering the time, something fast. Nothing is fast, Drachwax. Absolutely nothing is fast. And something that isn't a giant pain in the ass. Everything is a giant pain in the ass. Will there be a 24-hour hot tub birthday stream next week? No. And Odium, welcome to the stream. No, there won't. There won't be any stream. Well, no, it's not. There won't be a birthday stream. Maybe an after and before the birthday stream on Tuesday and Thursday. Okay. Oh, I see. I guess we're gonna work on the keyframes few then. But I'm not happy with some things here. Like, considering how stuff is handled in the graph view, I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure if I like the things, because like the graph view nowadays has like a reference to the editor context. And I could grab like everything out of there essentially, which is not great. How's it going? Right now I'm not motivated. It's so annoying. I was motivated at the beginning of the stream, but not now anymore. So like, I mean, this active frame stuff, this timeline range, begin, end, animation start and animation end, all that sort of stuff could be grabbed from the editor context. Like, that's my big issue with this. And even like, maybe not the attributes though. Maybe not the attributes though. And then like I have to here again a event on timeline range changed, and then I have like get the data out again to the editor there, and I could like I have everything within the editor context and just trigger the updates there directly. But like that's not nice. But like the editor context literally has everything. It has the current frame. It has the like, actually it doesn't have the active range. It doesn't have the active range. But I'm gonna have to rename this because like, so this is the active frame, this is the active range, begin, this is the okay, wait. Actually, let's change this here to one thing, which is an f int vector. Is there a 2D vector for a int64? I don't think so. Okay, let's create a new file, which is fic types .h. And what we're gonna do in here, first of all, pragma once. We're gonna type def some stuff, okay? So we're gonna type def int64 frame. So like, so there's a FIC frame. Okay. Then we're gonna type def so then we're gonna create a structure FIC frame range, which consists of FIC frame begin and an FIC frame end, begin end, which is also like from and to, you could say, frame range. And like we could now let's... Yeah, we could do that theoretically. Like, we could now add a setter function. Set range, essentially. And what we get is like a frame begin, frame end. And what this does, it essentially now sorts the begins and ends. So we're gonna say, wait, hold on. This is a in begin and this is a... So, okay, so there, guys, we're actually... I would say we're gonna refactor FicsIt-Cam. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're gonna do right now. We're essentially refactoring it right now. So, because like then based on the refactored code, we can then go into new features, I guess. That's a good idea. I think that's a good idea, guys. Let's refactor. So we're gonna have here a begin. We say begin with stuff, and we have in begin. So we say fmath max. No, wait. We want the smallest value between in begin and in end. And then we have as end, we have the max value in begin, in end. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna say it's impossible that begin and end is the same. So begin equals end. So if that is the case, we're gonna increment end by 1. So that the range has to be 2 frames. Just like that, essentially. And I also want to have a getter function. Void get range. But like I do not want to require it. So like I still want to be able that you can access the properties directly. Would be cool. But you don't. But you should not need to. So that you can make easier one-liners essentially. Because if we now pass in like the FIC frame out begin here as a reference, and if I see frame out end, this would make it a little bit easier, I think. So we're gonna get range like that, and we just simply say out begin equals begin and in begin what the fuck? No. Out end equals end. So you just can have one-liners. And like if you just want to change one value and you're sure you do not need the checks, you can also set it directly. But if you want to change this, change that stuff, you can use the setter instead, because it then like lines begin and end properly and makes sure that they don't overlap. So, okay, now we got the frame. Next thing, type def. FIC generic value. Generic value is a float. So here we need we essentially need the same thing. So we just need so here we need a fig generic value range essentially, and just simply copy that And we say we use generic values here instead. And it will do the trick. Or should we? Yeah, let's just use value, not generic value. Let's just use value. Okay, so with this out of the way, I have to... Let's change stuff completely, guys. So first of all, let's add a new folder here, which is private. And in the and we add a new folder public. So like that's just actually how things are managed in Unreal Engine. So yeah. So then I want to have like a runtime, or like let's go with editor. So I want to have a folder editor where we're gonna plug in all the editor related stuff essentially. Editor. So that means editor attribute base, obviously. Camera actors. Characters. So we're gonna put that stuff into there. Yo. Hello. Okay, so we got now editor, attribute base, camera actor, character. So now we're gonna have to split like the CPP files and the header files. So then I'm gonna add a new file directory. Let's call it UI. UI. I mean, we already have here like a UI folder, but it's different. So, like details are UI stuff. Drag and drop is UI stuff. Editor is a UI stuff. I'm not sure about the editor context. I don't think that is UI stuff. Graph view is definitely UI stuff. Keyframe control is UI stuff. Keyframes view is UI stuff. I think so. The numeric type too, but we'll maybe get rid of the numeric type. But for now, we're gonna have to put it in there. Range selector 2, timeline scrubber. Not the types, but the vector editor too. I'm gonna put those into UI. Boop. There we go. And now we're gonna have details, drag drop, editor, graph view, control, different view, numeric type, range selector, timeline, and timeline scrubber, and vector editor. That's gonna go into the public UI Ordner. German. Folder. OBS is not happy right now. Due to rendering lag and encoding lag. And a couple of frames dropped due to network. Many frames dropped due to network. I have no clue why though. Weird. Okay. So now we have now this change list stuff. So this is, I would say, general editor stuff. So it doesn't really have something to do with the UI. It also could be due to other input events. So nope, change list. Not gonna go in there. Change list being normal editor stuff. Boop, boop. Editor context. Same for you, I would say. Like editor context is like a normal edit. Not related to the other stuff. Okay. Boop. Boop. Okie dokie. So now we have a couple of other stuff here. So there's like subsystem, there are utils, game states, whatever. But like I want to separate that also a bit from... So like I want to, like the players and stuff, I want to separate from the utility shit. So let's make a new folder. Add directory. I'm not sure how I should call that. I guess I just call it player then. No, that sounds a bit weird. How about let's call it runtime? Yeah, I think that's more generic. Let's call it runtime. And in there goes stuff like this. So like pride, camera, character. No, not the command. But the time-lapse camera. So those two essentially. I'm not sure about the animation. The animation seems to be more generalized things. It's unrelated to just playing the stuff, I think. By the way, guys, I just noticed I'm gonna open Git ahead and make that into a new branch. it seems otherwise rather unreasonable to me. So FicsIt-Cam. We have a lot of things to do. I think I'm gonna make that later. Yes, let's do that later. I mean, just changing the branch should not be problematic. Okay. So, get range. Doop. Okay. So, we now have stuff here in the runtime folder over there. Gonna add a new runtime folder here. Runtime. We're gonna put in the camera character and time-lapse camera in. Boop. So, we got here the subsystem, we got here the utils, we got here the command, and here we got the animation. I'm gonna make a new folder, which I'm gonna call like... how should we call it? I guess I'm gonna call it data. Data. Let's call it data. And I'm gonna put in... no. Private CPP files. Yes. And a new folder. Data. And in the animation goes. Boop. So, and the rest just simply goes into the public and private folders directly. So that means CPP, 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 and CPP go into there. Header. You guys go to there. The build, the module build file stays at the location directly in the FicsIt-Cam folder there. And this UI folder can be removed. Good. Okay. Great. So what we can do now is further refactor stuff. Okay, so we now got like the types here. What I want to work on first is like animation, because like this feels rather cluttered, I think. So like we have like here AFC animation, and then we have all the data in here, which is not very modular. I don't like that. Also, attributes. Attributes are also weird. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create no, not an existing item. I want to add simply a new file, okay? New file, which is FIC attribute.h. So, and in there goes the this, no. Goes this guy. So first of all, pragma once, and then this stuff. So what we then need is we need include FIC attribute generated.h, and we need a lot of other stuff. So there's, for example, keyframe type and stuff. So, and there is like keyframe ref, and then there is also like keyframe, and then there is like keyframe type. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new, let's just go with this here, FIC keyframe. Very important, this is like more of a generic keyframe essentially. So you go over that. Okay. So from the animation over here, we're gonna copy this keyframe thing. Bam. And we simply copy it into the header file over here. Choop. Like just like that. Beep beep. And we're good to go. Do not delete this. Okay. We have, for whatever reason, here a description. Well, whatever. Okay. So this here is FFIC keyframe. This returns keyframe. Actually, why is it a use struct? Does it have to be a use structure? I mean, not really, right? We're gonna make everything C++, then we do not really have to make it use struct, because otherwise I could not use... Okay, wait, those are virtual functions, so are not exposed or whatever. So it doesn't matter? I think it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna rename those things. So this body here, oh, by the way, hold on. In the animation, keyframe ref. We're gonna get rid of the keyframe ref. It doesn't make much sense in my opinion. Maybe we're gonna re-edit, but it's a terrible piece of garbage. So, keyframe ref, you will die. And I do not care. This is actually a Bezier interpolation, so... Okay. Like, see, it's in there. It's weird that it's in here. That's why we're gonna do this refactor here right now. Because this would be otherwise pretty stupid all. So, whatever. Okay, so so, do we... Alright, we need... We also like this stuff. So, there is like keyframe ref. Oh, okay, so we do not have any other stuff, so... We can leave that be. As it seems, at least. By the way... Maybe... Show an explorer. Oop. I have to rerun this here. Okay, so this is now our keyframe. So you are not returning a float. You're gonna return value, an FIC value. Thanks. I'm not sure. I mean, don't the import paths change then? It's a bit weird, honestly, I think. Can't you then handle this? Does it have to be using public? Whatever. Can I make it reload? Boop. Okay, so, and the function won't be called getValueAsFloat anymore. This will be getGenericValue. Or let's just call it getValue. Get in control. Oh, okay, wait, that could be. So if we're in control, I want. Okay, let's go into our types, and we have like value range. So I want to have a struct. Value time. Yeah. And a struct value time simply consists of a frame, which is like the frame, and a value. Value. Magic. That's it. Nothing more. So we have like get value and then get in control. And instead of doing this weird shit here, we can now just simply use this instead, which is way more handy. And then get out control. Void float reference. There should be like RS, and with that we can change the signature. Choop, choop. Can we code in here? No, we cannot. This is a. I guess that's a display bug. Boop. 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 Beep. Set value from float. So now it just setter functions. So this is now set value, and instead of using float, it will be FIC value in value. Then we have set in control, And well, what we want is in control. I guess. I mean, we can make that a const reference. I mean, to be fair, like that. I mean, it's a structure, so it doesn't have to copy the whole thing. Boop. RS. Set out control. Boop. In out control. Just in control. Wait, no. In out control. Let's go with in out control. Const reference. Next. And we're gonna change that over here too. So this here is in. It's a weird name, but that's just how it is. In control. There you go. So now we got the setters and the getters. So and you are returning an FIC value time. Return FIC value time. Actually, can we? No, wait, hold on. We're gonna make that a bit different. Hold on. Can we just say like assert? Can we just like straight out assert here? I want to make an assert here. Do we have to use check? I don't want to do an static assert. Not implemented. Choop. Default behavior simply doesn't make any sense here, so let me do this instead. Yeah, not 2 times. There you go. I want to throw a not implemented exception. Not implemented. Oh, okay, so they still return that, but they... Okay. So they are using checkf, false, but you still have to then say you're returning something. Oh, here we don't need that. Okie doke. Okay, and here you are saving keyframe type. T in my spot, keyframe type. I've got our keyframe types. I'm pretty fine with the keyframe types. Like this is like here a bit of like a map. Like if this one is there, you know, okay, you have to display it. It wants handles, which is the case for ease, in out, and mirror, and custom. and then you have also like linear, step, and all. And then you also have like linear and step. And there's not much any further variation in regards of interpolation types. And we don't need that. We have pretty much every 3D with that now, so I don't. And if we're gonna change it to bitmap, then, but I think that's fine for now. So let's continue. How many bits do we use here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Okay, 1 bit we could do. But I mean, linear step especially could be changed a bit different here. We could. Why is it so weird? Handles. Fuck. Okay. Anyway. So this here is a float keyframe. It hasn't changed it at all. Whatever. So okay, we now got like keyframe H here. We do not have a keyframe CPP. We do not have any code in keyframe CPP, so we're gonna get rid of it. So our animation has recalculate all keyframes, get next keyframe, and here it does have the interpolate function. So we're gonna copy that, so we're gonna cut that out and put it into our utils. It just makes so much more sense in here. So this is gonna be u function, static, interpolate, whatever. I don't care. Gonna put that down there. Animation. There you go, interpolate. Gonna cut that out and put it into the utils. Makes so much more sense. So and this here is like we're gonna have to recall it. So this here is Bezier interpolate. I mean, we have to be specific here a bit. Ufig utils. There you go. And you have weird stuff happening here, which we're gonna change. Boop. Boop. And boop. And with that, we have fixed this here. And this is now in here. Great. So let's continue. So this here is part of attribute of the generic attribute though. So I'm gonna cut that out, go over here, go into... Where's the attribute? Oh, we do not have an FIC attribute. I should also give it CPP there. And boop. There you go. And include. And we're good to go. So they're all like the keyframe refs, but we won't use those. So we got FIC keyframe ref, which we don't use. So we're gonna use. Yeah, I mean, this makes no sense, using t-shirt pointer in our refs. So we're just gonna use t-shirt pointers and t-shirt refs directly. Because this is just madness. It's just utter madness. Okay, so we're gonna, but at least we have our attributes here. So. Okay, so a fig attribute has a declare multicast delegate, F on update, and then directly has here on update delegate, which everyone has access to. So then we're gonna have our destructor, and then we got attribute type, which is the name essentially. So we're gonna have, no wait, that's like, is it a float? Is it, what is it essentially? But then I have to ask myself, why do we even have that? We do not use it. No, that can't be right. What is it? Get attribute type. Get attribute type. Insert project. So we are using it over here. The problem is like this guy doesn't have like some it doesn't contain reflection data, so we're gonna have to kind of create our own reflection data, and that's the attribute type. That's why this is used for what this is used for. I'm gonna add a check F. So false text not implemented. Not implemented. Should do the trick. Get keyframes. So this is supposed to return a tmap, not a not a reference to a tmap, a full copy of it, because if we do not want to dictate how our attribute has to store its keyframes. And we're gonna say this has to consist of t-shared refs to FFIC keyframes. Gonna include keyframe then. Wait, hold on. We probably need that anyway. Oh no, wait, we are in the header file. Hold on. Okay. So, and then get keyframes. We again need the not implemented thing there. And then we say t-shirt ref and then keyframe. Get allowed keyframe types. And let's put it up there. Add keyframe. Remove keyframe. Hold on. So this here will be FIC frame instead, and not integer 64 anymore. Frame. FIC frame. FIC frame. FIC frame. FIC frame. Recalculate keyframe. FIC frame. Set. So this here is one of the new things introduced thanks to the change through the change list, because the change list essentially wants to, like, using the get function, it essentially wants to get a copy of this attribute, but how the attribute does things we do not know. So that's why this set and get essentially exists here. Doop. Dooby dum dum ba dooby dooby die. So here we just simply again add our not implemented screams. Then we have Okay, so these are not virtual anymore. So recalculate all keyframes. Makes sense. Get next keyframe. Why is it so weird? Can't we just say like get next keyframe? If it's not invalid, it was not able to get it, and if it was valid, it was able to get it. No, wait. I think the logic behind that is a bit different. So it returns false here. So out keyframe. When does it set? The out keyframe gets set over here and it returns true. When but that's the only point where we set the out keyframe, so it doesn't really make any sense to do any other shit here. We can't just like return it and then be happy. Okay, we're gonna change that. I don't like that. This doesn't seem kosher. More like this. Thanks. Return null pointer. And if I see frame, oh yeah, I totally missed that. If I see frame, why the out time? Like, out time also only gets set over there. Why the frick do you care so much? This is stupid. FIC frame. All you want is contained within the keyframe. Oh no, wait. The time maybe not. No, the time is not contained in there. Okay, so out time actually kind of makes sense in this case, even. So we're gonna allow out time. Okay. We're gonna allow out time. So FIC frame reference out time. FIC frame out time. So this here is FIC frame and FIC frame. FIC frame. FIC frame. Okay, so we got here get keyframes. Tmap, FIC. Oh, and this here has to be ref, not pointer. FIC frame. Return. Null pointer. Null pointer. FIC frame. Good. That's not it. T-shirt, PTR, FFSC keyframe. And then we got keyframe ref, which is not the case, it's just that, and this here's ref. FIC frame, FIC frame. And this here's out, return, out time, there you go. Out time, and null pointer, null pointer, and null pointer. We do not make that a ref because otherwise we could not return null pointer. Goodie. Okay, so we have refactored this dude now. Now on to the next stuff, which is float attribute, for example, and float keyframe. And then we also have group attribute. So in data, gonna make a new folder, which is gonna be attributes. Attributes. Actually, should I put attribute in there? Like the generic attribute too? Maybe. Yes, let's put it in there. So this is now in here. And so that means also, by the way, folder over here. Attributes. And attribute. Gonna go in there. Oh, keyframe. We're gonna put keyframe also in there because like that's tightly related to the attributes. Okay, so we have that stuff now in here. So what happens now is we're gonna add a new file or class, which will be FIC float attribute. Actually, attribute float is probably a bit better. So we follow a bit the naming scheme because like I think, for example, it's FG buildable and then something door. You can see like door, pole, ramp. Instead of, it makes more sense if you say like it's a float attribute, but in this naming scheme it actually makes sense to reverse that a bit. So there you go. It's an FIC attribute float. It makes sense because I have like more structured in a tree, and then if you sort it by name, you can see all the attributes at once. Because if they all have like float, integer, whatever, they could be mixed weirdly, and this just simply makes a lot more sense. So, FIC attribute float. There you go. Animation. And we have this stuff here. The problem is it's just the file that is called like that. The structure itself has to be called the old name because backwards compatibility. Let me add a to-do for that. rename to FFIC keyframe float. To do rename to FFIC attribute float. So we're gonna include attribute, and we're gonna include FIC attribute float generated.h, like that, because we obviously need it. Unreal had a tool instead. Very important stuff. Okay, so float keyframe contains, it has a value type here. This doesn't exist. So value is a float. Actually, no, hold on. Do we need a value? Wait. For what do we use the value type? Value type. Fin object property. That's fin stuff. More fin related stuff. I need FicsIt-Cam related stuff. I cannot find FicsIt-Cam related stuff. So I guess it's unnecessary. Yo, let's get rid of it then. Boop boop. Okay, so we got a value, we got a intent value, we got an intent time, intent value, outtent time. So this is a bit problematic, because I mean, it's a bit different how this stuff is handled. Oh, and also through this I just saw the handle times are also in float. Makes sense. They don't have to be in frames. So means I have to change something up. By the way, you go over there. In our keyframe over there, like we use this value time. It's a bit problematic because like our frame is, yeah, it's related to frame then. Not good. Let's add a new structure. FIC value time float, which is then we use like type def float fig frame float. Fig frame float. Float frame fig value. Like that. Okie dokie. So with that, this issue should be resolved now. Okay, so what do you do here? We do not care. What we care about is this stuff. Actually, this is all and doesn't have the override tag. What's wrong? What is happening? Yes. Override. You have to override this because this is get value. FIC value. Set value from float. Set value. FIC value. In value. Override. Get in control. Override. FIC FIC value time float. Right, I haven't changed that yet, right? Value time float. 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 Value time float. Float. Get in control. Yeah, wait, hold on. That's not. Return. FFC value time float. Float. I guess I have to add some constructors. Okay. FIC value time, FIC frame in frame, FIC value in value, frame in frame, and value in value. Boop. Also, FIC value. FIC value time default classy FIC value time float default FIC value time FIC frame in frame frame value in frame FIC value in value frame in frame value in value float like that. Float. Okay. Are you happy now? I hope so. So, attribute float. Value time. FIC value time float. Why are you not working? Oh. Because this actually is F. F. After all, those are structures. Okay. Attribute float. Hooray, there we go. Boo 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 boo. And FFIC value time float. Wait, set in wait, why? Void const FFIC value time float in control Yep, that's fine. In frame. This is actually in control frame. And then we have like in control value. And then we have like here override. So this here again uses const FFSC value time float instead in control. No, and in out control. Why does it not override? Oh, because the name. Choop. 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 FFIC value time float. Return FFIC value time float. Float. Attend time. In out control frame. Out 10 value. In out control value. Beautiful. That's good. So here again we have type def, whatever. Keyframe type. I mean, keyframe type makes a little bit more sense. So we can reuse that in here, but we never use it. So who gives? Do we? But maybe we use keyframe type outside. Let me check that first. Keyframe type. I mean, as type, it doesn't. Oh no, we use it down here in the editor attribute base because we have like a generic editor. Okay, so that one cares about the keyframe type. Okay, so then we leave that in. I mean, if it's needed, sure. So, FFIC float keyframe, keyframes, but this time this here is FIC frame. We have a fallback value. I mean, this is up to every attribute itself, I think, and we got like get attribute type is float attribute. So this is like override that thing, and we have like get the keyframes. Get the allowed keyframes, and then add keyframe, remove keyframe, move keyframe, recalculate, and set. How did we sort that in our normal attribute? I don't quite remember. Yep, get allowed was combined with get keyframes and the. Oh, okay. So there was no empty space in between. Okay, whatever. So this here is ref and has to be float. No, not float. What the fuck? FIC frame. T-shirt pointer, which is actually T-shirt ref. And simply add keyframe, FIC frame, Bit confused right now. Oh, we used the pointer there. We should use a ref here. Ref makes simply more sense. Same as over here. This here probably also should be more of a ref. I mean, we expect that we get a value there. So... I'm not quite sure how I should handle that then, but... One. Make shareable. null PTR. If I see keyframe, return, make shareable. If I see keyframe, no PTR. Attribute. FFIC attribute. There you go. Here, pointer makes sense. But like up here, we expect there to be a value, so it should be ref instead. Obviously. Float attribute. Okay. So now this is patched. Okay. So, but now we're gonna have to repatch this here. Okay. Remove keyframe. FIC frame. FIC frame. FIC frame. FIC frame. And then we got here time. FIC frame. Keyframe. Okay, so with this we have patched everything up, but here we have it a bit different. So we have like set keyframe. We expect a float keyframe. It returns a pointer to that keyframe. Why? I don't know. Wow, pointer even. Why not a reference? Whatever. So we then get a value, which is a float, and it wants an in time. So this is very important. So this here uses like, give me a time here, like a float time, which is a very important thing. And then we have like set default value. Actually, if I see frame float, set default value, but here like float makes sense because like that's the value. That's literally the value. I'm actually a bit confused right now. I'm not quite sure how the graph handles any the values again. Like it needs to get a generic value based on a it's on a frame basis. So maybe that's why it works a bit different for him. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm actually not quite sure about that. But for now, this is fine. So we got the attribute float in. Hooray! Now we're gonna have to check out the CPP file. And that means we have to check out the animation CPP file, where we have a lot of things. Holy shit. Float attribute, float attribute, float attribute. Float attribute, float attribute, float attribute. Boop. Attribute float CPP. Boop. Fill it in, boys. Fill it in. Like the animation CPP was very long, so I wanted to separate that here a bit. So let's continue. So this here is FIC frame, and we have here ref with keyframe. And this is a bit more tricky now. Boop. There you go. Ref and FIC frame. FIC frame. FIC frame. FIC, very important, float keyframe. And this here returns a float keyframe pointer, so we're gonna have to do this here then. Why are we doing it that way though? This is a bit weird. I dislike that. Can't we just say, wait, hold on. Keyframes again. Keyframes. And then like auto keyframe. I think how this happened to be with the keyframe ref was like the idea was that you have like a ref structure and you can say set of that keyframe the value or the in-out stuff, and it then translates that directly into that the attribute changes then how it should be. But I'd never like pulled through a weird system like that. So instead you just simply have to, if you change a keyframe, tell it the attribute and not the keyframe structure. So with that we actually separate it a little bit better so we don't intertwine stuff. So now if you change something in a keyframe or an attribute, a keyframe of an attribute, tell the freaking attribute about it. And that's like how everywhere stuff is handled like that. So, whatever. Okay, get allowed keyframes. We allow simply all keyframe types. FF is a keyframe ref. So... no! And this here is a ref instead. Add keyframe FSC frame. Not a ref, but make shared. And this here is like we care about that, so this here is a float keyframe. And this essentially creates a copy of a float keyframe. Actually, maybe it worked previously, but no, I don't think so. Maybe it worked, but it should not. So like, I'm simply displeased by it, how that the system behaves. So I want to talk to the attribute directly. And if we're gonna change it, I'm gonna make it better. Like the old way of how that reference is managed was garbage. I want to have that a bit different. So let's keep it like this for now, and if we still need this way, it was previously with the ref, I'm probably gonna make it different. Because like all of this ref stuff is thankfully not related to data structure or whatever itself, that's more communication with the editor and stuff. But refactoring this is a lot of work. I didn't expect that it's gonna be that tough. Seriously, that's unexpected. I just want to check that. Hold on. Keyframe ref. Okay, so over here, and then we just return it. Wow. I mean, we do have to trigger an update essentially. KF, get keyframe. Like, okay, hold on. Just want to check that pretty quickly. So this is mostly happens in the editor. And I would say in the drag drop is probably a lot of that sort of stuff happening. All is red. This is so sad. Whatever. Okay, so if we say on dragged a keyframe handle. Okay, now we say on the keyframe set out, we set the value on the keyframe itself. Okay, so we are not triggering anything else. We are literally using the keyframe itself, Iggy, the keyframe ref. That's at least how it seems. But like, I simply dislike that. Oh, and no, wait, hold on. No, a ref still doesn't make much sense. So like, if you want to do it, like, no, wait. So like, how it is right now would be totally okay, I think. So, I mean, you could say you have a keyframe there. So like, you could say, yo, you have keyframes here. And wait, where is it? Float attribute. So like, and you say, okay, give me a keyframe, and it gives you then a keyframe accordingly. A t-shirt ref to on keyframe. But as we have figured out, like, I mean, this is a pointer. This can point to anything that implements an FFRC keyframe. And this is the FFRC keyframe is essentially is a very abstract class. So this could be anything. So even a wrapper for your own keyframe, essentially. And with that, you don't have to worry anymore about any other stuff. And this is like, you can access it directly without any weird stuff happening, and it works right away. That's at least how I think of it. I think that could work. I think that could work. I mean, it would at least... latest time it would work if we just simply say, okay, this keyframes thing here doesn't contain FFRC float keyframe, instead it contains shared pointer, but that is a bit troublesome with the safe game stuff here. So what we're gonna have to do instead is like probably adding a wrapper or the own serialization for this. But like, if we do our own serialization, that would break some stuff. So, not sure about that. But we definitely can add wrappers to it, and then we're good. We definitely can add wrappers. As like essentially an FFRC keyframe ref that pretends to be an FFRC keyframe. We can easily do that. I think that's how we're gonna make that. Okay. So I was just a bit worried about if we actually change it that way, if it breaks very crucial stuff, because I realized, hold on, we actually use that. So, but apparently we have a neat way around. That makes me happy. It's just like then we have to change these make shards here. Okay. So this here is keyframe, key. And this here is keyframe, key. Actually here we just simply want value. What the fuck? Like that. Because right now we are just copying stuff here, so changes to a keyframe directly won't do. You have to call the functions on the attribute right now to do any changes, but maybe we'll change that. We will see. We will see. So for now, let's continue. Add keyframe. Make shared. Contains. Otherwise, it actually creates one. Okay. Remove keyframe. Only thing that is bothersome is this here has to be frame. Ta-da! FIC frame. FIC frame. And maybe we're gonna rename it instead of attribute. We're gonna use property. I don't know. We'll see. For now, let's just keep it. Okay, from then we have move keyframe. Next is recalculate keyframes. I mean, in here it looks everything good. This here doesn't look good. This here has to use frame. Recalculate all keyframes. Okay, so what are you doing? No, recalculate keyframes. So it gets, first of all, it tries to get the... Why are you doing it that way? Why can't you use next keyframe and previous keyframe? Well, I mean, we have literally two functions for that. Don't we? And I mean, you get the index here. Yeah? It's a bit shocking. I do not like this. I do not like the how the code looks here. I'm gonna change that now. So what we're gonna do is, I mean, we have like this here. This is K, which is like the current keyframe. So like, current keyframe. So that's the current keyframe. We get a time, and it returns an index, which is weird AF. What I simply want to do is I want to say, yo, keyframe. We say keyframes, find, time, bam, FIC frame. Give me that freaking time. Give me the current keyframe. Oh, what happens if the current keyframe is like not available right now? Well, then freaking return current. So like if that is not set, it's invalid, just return. Thanks. Float keyframe. So that's like the previous keyframe. Well, get previous. Oh, okay. The problem is like the logic is a little bit like, if I use now the get previous keyframe, it... Oh wait, actually, pref keyframe. It wants a time, an out time, and it gets a keyframe. So you want a time, which is time, and you want FOC frame pref keyframe time. Bam, long name. Damn. Actually, hold on. P time. So this is gonna be P time. Okay, and I then do cast shared, static cast shared ref. Actually, it's a pointer. PTR. F key float keyframe. And last but not least, e-reference. It doesn't work because then we get a reference. Get. There we go. Static cast. Come on, cast. Shared PTR. Dude. Shared PTR. FOC. Float. Keyframe. Get. Next keyframe. Time. End time. Get. Boop. And we're good to go. Oh. Oh, because of that. Attributes. I mean, get next and previous keyframe are a bit different, yes, but the code looks pretty nice in that way. We could actually make this here a binary search. I just noticed. Why is this not a binary search? I mean, we could improve it. Let me add a note for that. To do use binary search. So I know for later. Float it. Okay. So now we got that. And now a lot of stuff is happening in here, which I do not want to touch really. That's the keyframe calculation stuff, which is... I have changed a lot over there to make the handle calculation more Blender-like. So, yeah. Okay, so this here gonna be ref because we obviously want to ref. Then that means we do not even have to check it. I mean, it's a ref. It's a ref after all. Steady cost shared. Ref. And you're good to go. Okay, and you get a ref. And that's for that. Oh, we're rushing through right now. Set keyframe. FIC frame. Keyframe. And FIC frame float. Frame float. Frame float. Frame float. Frame float. Stuff. No, this here is FIC frame, and this here is okay. Well, that's float, and here we are interpolating. So I need UFSC utils Bezier interpolate. Goodies! Attribute float is done, as it seems. Let's continue with the next guy, which is FIC attribute group. What does that mean? Well, it's a group attribute, that's what it means. So for that we're gonna have to go over here again, and then there is the group attribute, which we're gonna copy into attribute group, and that means we need to include FIC attribute group generated.h. And that means we need an attribute. If it wasn't already obvious. So what this here simply contains is strings, attributes, children. Get attribute type is a group attribute. Makes sense. Loud keyframe types is that stuff, and FIC frame, ref, normal keyframe, ref, and FIC frame, FIC frame, FIC frame, FIC frame, and last but not least, FIC frame. Next up, animation CPP. Copy all the group attribute stuff out. Boop. Boop. So FIC frame, ref, FIC frame, ref, give me all the attributes, ref, keyframe, ref, no, keyframe, FIC keyframe, Whatever that true means, I don't care. I just care about this. Which is looking a bit weird right now. Maybe more like that, huh? Seems a bit better. There are not really any controls you can directly apply to these kinds of keyframes, so we just use the header here, like that, because there is not really anything you can do with group keyframes. So, yeah. Next! T-shirt pointer, which is not the case, it should be a ref. And you should use the FOC frame attribute. Wait, what? Wait, T attribute. Hold on a second, what is a T attribute? What is a T attribute? Oh, it's that. Why? Why is it a T attribute? Because maybe the attribute changes or what? I mean, okay, I don't, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Add keyframe to all its children, if they exist. So, if I see frame, here it just redirects it to all its children, essentially, all the commands here. If I see frame, and we are done. So now we have all the important data structure attributes done. Now we have to continue with the animation file, because the animation file complains about things like it misses the float attribute. I wonder a bit why it doesn't miss the group attribute, but whatever. Maybe because they... whatever. We do not need... Do we need an actor here? Or is it already given in the FSC attribute float? Whatever. Okay. Good, so that is done. So it complains about the include. Well, let's do the include then. Okay, so I guess the groups are not added here. Instead, they are added at some different point in time, as it seems. End of animation, start of animation. I do not really care about this here. I mean, this here is a lot of time, so that's why it's float. And here in 64, because it would not understand FIC frame. That's why we use this here in 64 directly instead. Cool! Cool. So we have now everything finished inside of this data folder, essentially. I'm not sure, should we put in the types into the data folder? I mean, it would technically make sense, you know? It would make sense, but I'm not sure if we should. Because, like, the types are also just data. But, like, data that is used everywhere. Ah, whatever, let's put it in. Boop. Boop. Boopity boop. Because, like, attributes are also used everywhere, so... Okay, so that sort of stuff is patched then, I guess. Oh no, now it complains about all of that stuff here. Let's go into the attribute. Let's go into the keyframe because it misses this guy here, which is now data. Hopefully it's happy now. Okay. So the data folder is finished in regards of refactoring. I mean, okay, maybe we also have to add some comments on the stuff, etc. But theoretically it's done. I mean, comments not gonna go in private, it's just some stuff in public. So, I mean, I don't have right now, like, I want to add a better system here to make this data here more dynamic, so they don't have like camera data, and camera data contains and all of that stuff, and then you can also have like other options. You can have like world data, so that you can, for example, animate the daytime. But whatever. You should comment that here properly. So, for example, what this here is used for. And like, yeah, the attributes itself and how stuff works nowadays. Oh! Hey, here is a CPP file that should not be there. Gonna have to move it over. Zoop. But guys, we're gonna end the stream now. So I can just say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I enjoyed it at least. Hold on a sec. There we go. So, yeah. Guys, I would say thank you so much for watching. Question, as usual, is who we gonna raid? The answer to that mysterious question is... Oh no, I don't know. Let's see what satisfactory streamers are online, and then raid some one of those. Satisfactory. I would say Popcat. Let's go to him. So, guys, then I would say thank you so much for watching. And everything that is left to say is By the way, next stream I hope will be on Tuesday. It's unlikely that there will be something on Saturday, but probably on Tuesday. So, thank you very much for watching. I was Panagon from CodeD from MrBytes. I say bye bye. Until next time, and as always, keep coding!